Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick update. It's been a long time since I made that last post. Sorry about that, but also not sorry. There was a death in the family and it's kind of been pretty hectic, and we've kind of took a while for things to get back to normal. But I promised that I was going to show you guys a few of the 5-gallon bucket projects that I've done. And it's actually kind of a good thing in a way that I waited, because I ended up doing 2 more here about a little under a week ago. And since I never did get around to showing you the chicken feeder and chicken waterer, I can actually go ahead and show you 2 other things that I've done with them since then. So you're actually going to get 4 of them, and these are seriously really easy to do. You don't even really need a very detailed how-to type video to learn how to do these things. If you've ever picked up a drill or something like that, they're easy as pie. So actually 10 times easier than pie, because you literally in most cases just make some holes and then you're good to go. All you got to do is just have the buckets and the tools. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you some of them. Now, yeah, a couple months ago whenever I showed it to you, I told you that I was going to show you a closer look of the waterer and the feeder. Right now I'm actually in the garage. I'm about to run out to the back. Right now, the other 2 that I did are right here in the garage, so I'm going to go ahead and show you those 2 real quick first. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and show you is actually going to be what I have nicknamed the automatic chicken food dispenser. It's kind of a better way to say it, because every time I called it what most people call it, my wife is grossed out at the thought. But what I'm talking about is actually a maggot bucket. Basically what you do is you take a bucket and you put some holes in the sides in a spot that cuts down on rain getting into it and that sort of thing. And along with that, you put some holes in the bottom, and what happens is you throw in some sort of meat that flies will flock to and will lay their eggs there, and then whenever the maggots come out and start growing, they will actually roam around a little bit. They'll find the holes, drop down to the ground, and once the chickens know that this is happening and that they know that that bucket is the source of it, they'll come running to them. And it does 2 things. One, it's free food for your chickens. It's perfectly healthy for them to eat and all that kind of stuff. You don't really have to worry about disease or anything. The times, if you do research it, where people have had problems with diseases hurting their chickens has been from people not keeping the buckets clean right. Basically just throwing rotting meat in it over and over and over, dump it out, throw more in, dump it out, throw it in, without ever cleaning it. And I have no intention of doing that. Not only that, but I'm also not going to be throwing whole possums in it and that sort of thing and making it just extremely nasty. Anyways, the second thing that it does is not only do you get the food, but also it actually helps control the fly population in your area a little bit by providing a specific area that they flock to raise their babies where your chickens will eat them. That actually means that there's a small percentage of your fly population around your house that's actually going to be generating food for your chickens rather than growing more flies. So serves those 2 functions. The second thing I'm going to show you real quick is going to be, and I'm actually staring at it right now, is actually a bucket trap for mice. And I built both of these during the day on Friday while my daughter was taking a nap. And I finally got the first rat trapped in it. It took a few days, I guess, for them to find it or whatever. But ever since over the winter, we had really bad problems with mice. And so I went ahead and built the trap. It was worth a shot because nothing else has been working. We've been using glue traps and poisons and stuff outside, and none of them have been doing any good. So gave this a shot, and so far it's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and show them to you and kind of show you how they get made. And like I said, guys, it's really easy to do these. You don't need a super detailed how-to video showing you every little step. They're really easy. All right, so first, here's the maggot bucket. That's kind of the hook that I put together. I'm going to use that to hang it, because you want to keep it a couple of feet up off the ground. And what I did, there's those holes right there that I put underneath that lip so that you don't get a lot of rain splashing in there. And then on the very bottom, made some more. The size drill bit that I used for it, the size of drill bit that I used was, I think, about a 3/4, or not a 3/4, 3/8 inch, I think, which is actually not too bad at all. And anyways, I'm going to get that thing cleaned up, and it's going to go out there and it's going to hang. Now right here, the rat trap, which, as you can see, it worked. It caught one, and you know, that's exactly what it's intended to do. This thing was really, really easy. All you really do is you make a couple of little holes directly across from each other. I put them directly above the handles, that way I knew it was perfect. And this is actually part of a metal clothes hanger. And what I did was I just snipped it off on each end, and you just bend it so that it holds itself into place. And the deal there, I just put a couple holes in it, and you want to get them as close to center as you want. That way, as you can see, it'll kind of move around a little bit and it'll spin pretty freely. And that is peanut butter. We had some expired stuff that was no longer where we wanted to eat it, and so I used some of that. But guys, really easy. And I just left it in here in the garage. I put it next to this hay bale, and it did the job, and it did it really well. So I'm going to run out to the chickens, show you those real quick. Sorry if the camera's shaky and all that. Here's all of our critters running around. Alright, now right there, that's it. And basically what it is for the waterer, you want to use the end with the lid on it. It needs to go on the bottom. And if you know basically how physics work, if there's not a way for the air to float up to the top, the water's going to stay at that level. That's how all pretty much water feeders work. And basically what you do is you just put the holes down there at the very bottom, and so that way it automatically just speeds up. And all I did was use like about a maybe half to 3/4 inch drill bit, like a paddle bit, and then I just cleaned up the edges. That way there weren't a whole lot of burrs. Pardon me, fellas. Hey, what was that about? One of those little turds pecked me in the leg for no reason whatsoever. And in here, looks like they goofed that up. And basically, as you can see right there, that's the hole. You basically just do kind of the same thing, but you leave the top open. That way you can go in and you can just throw more feed in. And it's super, super easy. And all I used was just the 5-gallon buckets and use those big plastic tubs. They're a little bit bigger than the base, which means there's plenty of room for them to all come out and get to the food and the water that they need. But in each case, each bucket that I did, for each bucket that I did, I'm pretty sure none of them took more than like 5 minutes to do. I mean, all you do is, you're mostly just making holes and then using the holes to do something. So they're super, super easy. They took no time at all. Let's see, cost-wise, the bucket that I used for the mouse trap cost nothing because a windstorm just blew it over onto my property. I have no idea where it came from, and if it blew onto my property, chances are it was just going to be trash anyways, wherever it came from. The other ones, those buckets cost like, I don't know, like maybe $3 a piece. The lid is like an extra $1, if it even costs extra at all. I don't even remember now. Oh, almost dropped the camera. Let's see. That pretty much covers, I think, everything I wanted to say on this. Everything I needed to say, rather. I didn't really zoom in on it very well, but I did say a minute ago that the maggot bucket needs to be suspended up in the air. I'm going to be using some of this stuff to do the suspending. This is the type of wire that cable technicians use. It's basically part of the cable wire that's used for hanging the line that actually feeds from the cable line outside to your actual house. So if you have cable at your house and they use an aerial line, which basically means it's in the air, then it's going to be like this. And so you're going to have this right here, which is the actual cable line itself, and then you're going to have this, which the cable techs call messenger cable. So basically what I did, because I was a cable technician for about 1.5 years, is I actually, whenever I would take down old line off a house because it had been damaged in a windstorm or something, I just took a bunch of this stuff home and I just stripped all of that off and made that huge roll that I was just looking at a second ago when I showed it to you. I basically just took a ton of those old cables that were just going to get thrown into the garbage anyways, and I just brought a lot of it home and used some spare time to just coil it all up. And I just basically used like little loops and just tied all the different strands together. And so now I have this huge thing right here. And I'm telling you, this thing weighs like 40 pounds. It is hefty sucker. But anyways, it's been super helpful. And I'm going to be using it out there on some of those posts that you might have seen. I'm not sure if the camera angle was set up good, but I've set up a bunch of posts up there that I'm going to use for the... Sorry guys, I have brain farts from time to time. But I've got a bunch of posts set up there. Well, I might as well go back and show them you real quick. Yeah, I mean, I don't plan on this channel being like uptight and strictly regimented. I don't mind just kind of showing you crap. Gives you an idea what it's like to actually be a friend of mine having to deal with my borderline ADD personality. But what I've done back here, see all these posts that are set up, and I'm actually going to be doing some more when I have some time. That's what that stack of wood over there is I took these big pallets and I stripped these huge posts out of the middle of them. They sit up about 7 feet, maybe some of them a little taller just because I didn't make the holes quite as big or quite as deep. But sorry about the noise, or the wind noise. It's kind of a windy day. That's just this time of year in Oklahoma though. But anyways, we're using them and we're running fishing line across the top to try to make a cover. That way we don't lose any more birds to hawks. We lost like 7 birds last year to hawks coming in because we like our birds to actually have some space. So anyways, what I'm going to be doing, sorry, my ADD kicked in again, is basically a little bit further out that way. Whenever I get a couple more poles set up out here, I'm going to be running the line and I'm going to keep it further out, a little bit further away from the house. But I'm going to use that black line and run it in between 2 of those poles, and I'm going to have that maggot bucket hanging from it. That way it's, you know, a good little distance up in the air, and we don't have to worry about any kind of weird rotten smells getting to the house because it'll be a little bit further out. If it proves that the smell does become some sort of issue or something like that, obviously we're going to rethink it. And as long as I think to, I'll let you guys know how that little experiment goes. As you can see, that mousetrap actually worked really well. There's lots of pictures online where people have, you know, they put them in like a barn where they have like actual nests, like multiple of them, where people have like, you know, 10 to 15 mice that fall into it. And I gotta say, I'm glad I got the one that I did, and I'm gonna keep it up and I'm gonna keep it running. Hopefully it'll help fix our little problem with them. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully that wind noise isn't too bad. But if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the comments. I'd be glad to answer. And you know, have a good day. And good luck out there to you guys that are actually kind of trying to do some of the same stuff we are with the self-reliance and all. Another random little thought, you know how they have those straw bale gardening? If you haven't heard of that, pause the video right now and Google search it real quick. It's in really short. Basically people plant a bunch of their stuff in straw bales and hay bales, and they say like you don't have to worry about weeding it and any of that kind of stuff. I gotta say I kind of disagree with that. Look at that. I did not plant anything in this. This bale just started growing its own stuff. I set it on the back of the house here because whoever designed our house ran a lot of the lines, as you can see right there from that duct. This right here is our laundry room, and moving along the back of the house, right around over here, like around where the AC is our master bathroom. And if you've looked at some of the older videos, you've heard me mention, or you've seen the video where I shared the experience we had just a month and a half into moving into this property, where that master bathroom line froze and ended up bursting and flooded the house. We ended up having to go through insurance and all that fun stuff, and it was a nightmare because the company we picked ended up sucking. They even left our back door wide open overnight once. No, we were not very happy. But anyways, I wanted to prevent that, and so I put these hay bales back here just through the the freezing periods, and now we're officially out of it. So I'll be moving them here probably within the next couple days. But yeah, I just left it there, and the water coming off the roof is causing stuff to just spontaneously grow out of it. So it's probably not as bad as what you would see with an actual raised bed and whatnot, but still, they say weed free. I don't think it's exactly weed free. Anything that what you are growing can grow in, weeds are going to get there too. It might just be a little bit slower, it might be a little faster, they might grow better, who knows. But anyways, my little ADD rant that was meant to just be some info about a couple of buckets, I guess that's done. Thank you guys, and good luck, and feel free to share info about any projects you've had. If you've tried one of these and they didn't work or did really well, feel free to comment on that too. I know I don't have a ton of viewers, but the way I see it, people that are involved in this kind of stuff, it's basically a community. We might as well kind of get together, share tips and all that kind of stuff. So comment. Thanks.